Right guys, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to predict every team in the NBA's best player next season. Now, I'm going to be going through the league standings, so worst to best. I'm mainly going to whiz through them, mainly because they're probably going to be bad again. So I'm just going to pick the player that I think is going to be the best player next season for every team in the NBA. I'm not going to give too many explanations because obviously there's 30 teams. Right, let's get into it. So for the Rockets, I went for Jalen Green. A good young player, and with more experience he'll be better next season. For the Magic, I went for Pablo Banchero. I think I'm saying his name right, I don't know. But the new player from the Magic, who I think is quite good. I'm not too sure. I'll see when I watch the Summer League, see how good he is there. But I think he is going to be in contention for Rookie of the Year. First overall pick, and yeah, should be quite good to watch. For the Pistons, I went for Cade Cunningham. When I've watched him previously, he seems very composed and already very used to the NBA. A great shout for Rookie of the Year last season, and I think he's just going to progress even better with this Pistons team. With the young team around them, I think that he's going to be the leader of that team and basically control where the team goes and how they play. So for the Thunder, I went for Chet Holmgren. It's hard to say. I've watched him in Summer League the last two games. He obviously had a very good first game and a not the best second game. I still think he got a double-double in that second game, but watching it, he seemed quite tired, and he wasn't very used to the back-to-back games, which is understandable as a young player who looks like he might be quite injury-prone, to be honest, looking how his stature is and stuff. But I do think he is going to be the best player on the Thunder next year, and that might be a surprise to some people, because some people might say Shea, some people might say Josh Giddey, but I just think he's a massive guy. He's 7 foot tall, he can shoot a three, he's not scared to do it, and he got the record for the most blocks in Summer League. I think it was 6 or something. He seems very confident in his ability, and I like that. So I think that he is going to be a great player next season, and the Thunder's best player. For the Pacers, I went for Buddy Hield. I'm not going to lie, I've never really enjoyed watching the Pacers. I've always found them a bit of a boring team to watch. For the Trailblazers, I've gone for Damian Lillard. Obvious reason, best player in their team. And until he leaves, he will definitely be the best player in their team. Probably one of the best Trailblazers in their history, and a great player overall. For the Kings, I went for Fox. I do also think Keegan Murray has a good chance of being this player. He has been really good when I've watched him. He's just quite inconsistent. So I think he is also a good shout to play here. But I went for Fox. It was their best player last season. Again, didn't really watch much of the Kings. The Lakers, LeBron, second best player of all time. Even at his age, he's still going to be the best player on the Lakers team. For the Spurs, I'm not going to lie, they're trying to tank as hard as they can. I didn't even have anyone for the Spurs. I didn't pick anyone. I looked at my list, I was like, oh, he's the only team that I haven't picked one for. And I just couldn't think of one. And I know that's bad, but I just couldn't think of one. Murray's left. Derek White's left. A lot of their good players have left. I know they still have some good players there, but they're trying to tank as hard as they can. I don't think anyone's going to have an especially good season, so I just didn't pick a player for them, because I'm not sure how they're even going to line their team up next season, with them just trying to get rid of everyone and trying to tank as hard as possible. For the Wizards, I have gone for Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal has been going downhill the past couple of years, but not as much as people say he is. He's still a great player, and he's still going to be the best player on that Washington Wizards team. For the Pelicans, I went for Zion Williams, if he can keep fit. Whenever you watch this guy, so crazy how dominant he is and how strong he is as well. I'm always surprised on how well he plays, but it's just whether he can keep those injuries down. And I think even with his max extension, I think it is, he's got clauses in there which suggest that he needs to keep injury free and keep a certain level of fitness to get the most money. So hopefully that motivates him to stay fit and stay as healthy as possible. The Knicks, I went for Jalen Brunson. New signing. I don't really know what the Knicks are doing. They always seem like a weird team, and they're very sporadic in their business that they do. So I just went for Jalen Brunson, new point guard, which they've been lacking for a few years now. I think he'll do good. The Clippers, I went for Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi stays fit, he is one of the best players in the NBA. As long as he stays fit, again. For the Hornets, I went for LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is one of the funnest players to watch. He is so fun and enjoyable to watch. Yeah, I'll be watching a lot of Hornets games next season. The Hornets are one of the teams that I really enjoy watching. Yeah, they're an exciting team. It's just quite a young team as well. And if they get that centre that is consistently playing, I think they'll be fine. For the Hawks, Trae Young. Now, Trae Young is an obvious pick here. He needs to be better off the ball, I think, as well, especially with Murray coming in. He needs to be better off the ball. That's one of his main criticisms, but he's going to be their best player again and going to be their highest scorer again next season. For the Cavs, I went for Darius Garland. He was great last season. Again, injuries kind of plagued that Cavs team. I think they were doing really well until they got some injuries. For the Nets, I just picked Ben Simmons because I don't know whether Kyrie and KD are going to be there next season. It seems almost certain that KD isn't going to be there. Then you can't count on Kyrie playing the amount of games that you'd need to play to be the best player on that team. But then can you count on Ben Simmons to play those amount of games? I'm not sure you can. So it was a really hard one. But I don't think Kyrie or KD are going to be there next season. That means Ben Simmons is the only good player there. So is he going to be there next season? I'm not sure what the Nets team is going to look like. And they might fall from grace dramatically, especially if they lose Kyrie and KD. They've lost a lot of role players as well to other teams. It's not looking good for the Nets. The Bulls, I went for DeMar DeRozan. I thought about Zach LaVine. Obviously a great player, but DeMar DeRozan, best player on the Bulls team. People were saying that he should have been a shout for the MVP, at least the first half of the season anyway. I thought he was great. Could play better, but at his age, a great player and a great performance last season, and I think he's got a few more seasons of doing that at least. For the Timberwolves, now I almost got confused because it says Rudy Gobert on my list. I think he's going to be their best player. The rest of their players are quite young still, so maybe a bit inconsistent. In the regular season, Gobert is going to help them massively where they've struggled most. I think that Gobert is going to be their best player in the regular season. For the Nuggets, I'm going to just go for Jokic. MVP, 2 seasons in a row. All I need to say. For the Raptors, I've gone for Pascal Siakam. Now, a lot of people might say Scotty Barnes. I really like Pascal. He's a great player and he's incredibly good. And people are going to see the Raptors are going to be a lot better next season, especially if they do get KD. For the Jazz, it's a hard one again because are they going to keep Donovan Mitchell? And that is the big question. I have gone for Donovan Mitchell here, but mainly because I think he could stay, but will he want to? I think he might stay for one more season, see how everything's going and then leave. But yeah, the Jazz are an interesting one, how they're going to line up next season. Seems like they might want to tank a little bit to get a few more picks and stuff. It seems like they're not going for any superstar names. We'll see. For the 76ers, I've gone for Embiid. I think he's been second in MVP voting for the last 2 years. Maybe he does deserve one, but him and Harden, I think, are going to have an okay season. I think it's going to be a bit overhyped. I don't think Harden's the same level as he used to be, obviously. And I think Embiid is going to have a great season again. It's just whether the players around him can have a good season enough to get them to where they want to be. For the Bucks, I went for Giannis. In my opinion, who will be the MVP next season, especially with Chris Middleton coming back. A great player, obviously, and he's going to dominate the league next season. Celtics, I don't know. It's obviously going to be JT, but like Jason Tatum, but I think a lot of our players are going to play better. Rob coming back healthy will play a lot better, and I think a lot of people will see him be the defensive monster, which he is, and the offensive threat as well. So it's hard to say. I love my Celtics. I'm actually wearing green socks right now. These are my Celtics socks. Don't know if anyone can see them, but yeah. So I love the Celtics, and we're going to be great next season. Hopefully a top seed in the East. We'll see what happens though. The Mavs, I went for Luka. He's going to come very high in the MVP voting for me. Next season, I think he's going to do well massively. I'm not sure about the Mavs overall, because I think a lot of teams in the West are getting a lot better. They haven't really improved yet. I think they've actually gotten worse. We'll see what happens. Maybe Luka can carry them again. They need a bit more support for him. For the Golden State Warriors, I've gone for Stephen Curry. What more can you say? Finals MVP. going to carry it on for at least a few more years. For the Heat, Jimmy Butler, however, I do think that it's getting to that point where he might be getting a bit old, maybe. I don't know about the Heat. I think they might fall a bit next season, but again, we'll see what happens. Grizzlies, Ja Morant. Ja Morant's going to get a lot better this season. I'm not sure how the Grizzlies are going to perform. I don't think they'll be the second overall seed in the West again, but I think they'll still be very good, and Ja Morant is going to be their best player easily. And shout out to him for going to the Summer League in Utah. Like, he's supporting his team, the Summer League team, where most of those players won't even be on the Grizzlies next season, and he's still supporting them. I respect that a lot, and I love seeing him there on that on the game. And the Suns, I went for Chris Paul. My opinion, this is the Suns' last chance to make it happen, especially if they do get KD. It's an all-out, they need to win it this season. No one else should have a chance. Right guys, so that is the end of the video. If you have watched this far, I really do appreciate you, and if you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.